Hello and welcome back to another drawing video. Today we are going to draw Chocolate Brownie because, as the majority of you know now, the premiere happened this afternoon. Chocolate Brownie did pass away, sadly, earlier today. So we're going to draw him just for some fun, and we might as well. I have two images up here. He's going to be lying down in the pose similar to this pose he is in this picture. And just for references to his face, this is more art by Rosie Katie17, who very kindly, did him a beautiful headshot, which I absolutely love. So thank you. I really love that headshot. It's beautiful. It's like my favorite artist, Chocolate Brownie. But anyway, okay, let's see what we can do. I just wanted that for more because this is a bit too textured to be able to get any decent color codes that I'm actually going to be able to use, so we might be using this image for color codes instead. So let's see what we can do as far as color codes are concerned for his face. So we're just going to start with some basic lines, maybe a bit of sketching. I'm not much of a sketcher since I'm pretty impatient with drawing, but we might draw him sitting. I don't know. We'll just have to see. I'm not sure what we're doing. Put stabilizer up a bit. See what we can do. Okay, this might do. That'll do the job. I mean, it's literally called a sketch. It's not going to be anything further. We might actually end up doing him sitting since, I don't know. No, let's actually just do him lying. That means we're going to have to move this slow. So let's hoik that over there instead, just to make life easier for us. And then let's do a bit of a neck. This is a complete sketch. I am not good, at sketching. See, I'm just proving my own point. Okay, let's see what I can do then. And then here, we're just going to do a little bit of a tail. Let's see, we're going to like wrap it around him a little. And then, yeah, that works. Kinda. I mean, it does what I want it to. He looks a little bit like a noodle, though, so we might have to fix that up. This is going to need to go a bit more further down than this tail. So let's see. Here we go. That's better. That's more like what I'm looking for. And then if we round that. That didn't look like a round. That looked like a block. This is where you don't want stabilizer on, but I've got it on anyway. Okay, let's just quickly. It's a sketch, I suppose, but I like having my sketch at least a little bit like what it's going to be like at the end. There we go. And then we can have his leg like that. And, well, okay, there we go. I'm not going to fuss too much over the sketch. We'll refine things. Well, I say I'm not going to fuss too much, but I kind of already have. Okay, let's just get on with it. His face is not the angle I wanted it to be, but I suppose we can do it that angle too. Let's like do his radio collar underneath over here, and we can just wrap it round like this, like that, like so. And then it's kind of underneath his chin, if you get what I mean. Okay, that's completely a mess, but it's kind of underneath this chin. So there, and then his head's on top of it. There we go. And then what else do we have? It's kind of a block, isn't it? Like a block like that, or more like, okay, hang on. Let's see, like that, I think. And then, can we like? My 3D attempts are awful. Like I can do 3D sometimes, but other times it's just a miserable failure. So I think this one of the times it's going to be a miserable failure. So let's draw like that. Yeah, there we go. That kind of works. Kind of. I mean, remembering this is a sketch, it'll be okay. So I say it'll be okay. It'll probably look absolutely horrific once it's done. But let's see what we can do over here then. So we're going to have his paws out. He's just going to be lying in relaxed kind of pose, I suppose. Okay, sorry. I should never have done that pun. Nobody appreciates my puns. So let's see. Can we like... There we go. I'm just going to cheat because cheating's easy. There we go. And then, well, it's not exactly cheating, but it feels like it should be. And his head is kind of turned this direction. I don't even know where his head is, to be honest. I think we're going to actually change it, since I don't think it's going to be good at facing us like this. Yeah, that's not going to get us anywhere. So let's actually just do that as well. And that makes it look a little bit more like a wolf rather than a noodle. And you know, I'm not drawing a noodle, so that's probably good. And then, of course, we're going to have to ruin our sketch that took us so long to do of the radio collar. That we should probably stop sketching and start drawing, since we have been sketching for 5 minutes. And I'm sorry if anything plays up on this video. I am on the taped up computer, because why not? So yeah, if anything plays up, it's most likely due to the fact that I'm on a taped up computer held together by clips and other random stuff that shouldn't be on a computer. So let's see what we can do here and forget about the broken computer. I think we kind of want Chocolate Brownie to have a calm expression on his face. Kind of relax. I think we're going to do him with like a golden ring on his head just to show he's not alive anymore. Because I think that would be a good idea. There we go. See, I told you my 3D isn't always awful. It just is the majority of the time. Let's actually kind of do that. And then that is just kind of a idea for me to figure out myself. I don't know why I did that. What's that line going to do for us anyway? Okay, hang on. Let's see. More like that. No. I'm just trying to figure out where the middle of his head is. There we go. More like that. That works. More or less. Kind of. Maybe, maybe not. Alright, let's just draw him. Let's draw his eyes, because his eyes were always very nice, big eyes. They always seemed pretty shocked, didn't they? I liked his eyes. They were very friendly. Like, look at them. They're very wise kind of eyes. Do you get what I mean? Wise eyes. Whatever. Let's see. Let's make it more round. There we go. And then, do we want to... No, I don't see how I can make his nose any nicer. Really. Other than actually adding a nose on the end of his nose. That always helps, you know. Having a nose on the end of a nose is actually pretty life-changing. But anyway, sorry. Sorry, I am boring you. Let's quickly fix up a bit more of our sketch, since our sketch was extremely messy. I mean, that is what a sketch is for, but even so, we're going to do cheating again. There we go. We can cheat all we like. I mean, you're not going to tell on me, are you? You'd better not. Alright, here we go. Now, let's see if we could, so that we can color it easier. Let's add a white background, like cheat again. Sorry, I am cheating a lot today. It looks like cream. Why does it look like cream? It's meant to be white. Wait. Is that messing it up somehow? Okay, never mind. Apparently that's white. It doesn't look very white to me, but I'm not going to question it, because never question a computer is something I've learned. So let's see what we can do in regards to colouring him. So let's just splash him all in this kind of beigey colour to start with. Very base kind of thing. We don't have very much colours to work with. We're going to kind of figure out, that's going to be our base colour. We're going to use a little bit more texture brown, that kind of thing. If I can find my airbrush. See, I have messed up my Fire Alpaca account so much that all my brushes are just a big mess on the computer. Like, you can't tell what's brush and what's mess. I don't know. Let's just color our character for now. I am just telling you about things you probably don't really care about, but I'm going to continue telling you about them since I care about them. But I have managed to get so many brushes downloaded that they are such a mess. I mean, how am I meant to find my brush in all of that? How many brushes is that? It feels like so many. I don't know, that could just be me being silly, but it really does feel like quite a lot of brushes. And let's just add a bit of texture like that. I always do that. It doesn't seem to do much, but it just gives a little bit more of a feeling of different fur textures. I mean, I'm not going to fuss too much with fur, which is why I wanted to do that. We're going to do a little bit of kind of fiddling and faffing, most likely. Maybe the face can be a bit darker. There we go. Then it looks a bit less like a noodle. I mean, our job right now is just not to make our character a noodle. So let's see what we can do to stop our character from being a noodle. We can give it eyes to start with. Whoa, what kind of coloring is that? Oh well. Oh well, never mind. Let's actually do a tiny bit of shading. I absolutely hate shading, so it won't work. But I very rarely do shading. So like, if we just do a little bit like, what we did just there was kind of like shading. A little bit like this and that, and kind of like that. A little, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a shader. I do not shade. Like, I cannot shade to save my life. I could not shade. I wish I could, because otherwise I'd be dead. Alright, so we should probably start concentrating on our shading. See, that is no shading. I cannot shade. Can do everything but shade. And, well, not everything, since I can't really draw well either at all. There we go. It's got a tiny bit of shading, and I can pretend that I've shaded it now. Pretend. It's not actually shaded, but you're not meant to comment on that. Let's actually do like that. I don't know. What did that do anyway? Okay, let's just leave shading alone. Shading will be what it is. I don't really care about shading. We're going to get rid of that line down his head in a minute. But right now, I want to get the face done first. So let's eyedrop the... Well, let's not eyedrop the white. Let's just airbrush it. We'll kind of do a grey kind of white. Because we don't want it too striking a white, since that would be unrealistic. Let's actually throw our... There we go. Our airbrush is up there now. And, like, yeah, he's kind of got white cheeks that go like that. There we go. That works, doesn't it? Kind of. Maybe. Maybe not. Let's actually get our airbrush a bit. There we go. That does work. There. And this is actually not too bad a drawing right now. So we're going to airbrush that next and just do his little nose. I love his nose. His stripe up his nose is so cute. Hey, that isn't too bad, is it? And we'll get kind of a brown on top, more of a brown. There, see, he looks a bit like chocolate brownie. So I'm not going to be able to do this video as long as I did the Aurora video, by the way, simply because I am not really able to easily with the taped up computer, since it's more or less taped up. If you get what I mean, it is kind of half taped up, so yeah, it doesn't get you very far, and it's kind of got 100% storage space taken up. So I don't know how we've even got to 12 minutes and 55 seconds. It's pretty impressive. But let's see, can we just like throw a bit of black? Because he has actually got a bit of black on his back, doesn't he? Yeah, he kind of does, actually. He has a lot of black. Oh, I just spat on the screen. Okay, there we go. Like that. And then there. It kind of looks like chocolate brownie. Maybe, maybe not. And then he has a like black, almost light black, not too harsh black, everywhere but round his belly where he is like not black at all, and his legs. So that's eyedrop something around. Well, eyedropping isn't going to get us anywhere actually. Let's just go lighter and then airbrush that. There we go. That doesn't look too bad. And then if we do the same, is his tail like, his tail's light too. Okay, so let's do it on his tail as well. Just make it a bit lighter than the other bits. Whoa, this actually might look like chocolate brownie by the time we're done. I'm not making any promises, but so far it's looking okay actually. I'm not unhappy. As my art goes, anything's okay. Like any other person's art anyway. So let's kind of do a bit of eyes. How do his eyes work? They're kind of in the middle, more or less. I think most eyes are in the middle, but his eyes are very in the middle. Oh, rats, I just did that on the wrong layer. There we go. There we go. And then let's see if we can get that right. It's really hard to get his eye color because it's kind of grey, but then it's not. It's kind of green, but then it's not. And then it's kind of grey, but then it's not grey either. So it's really tricky to do, as you can hear from my very descriptive talking, which tells you absolutely everything there is to know. How's that got some blue in it? Well, I suppose it does have a bit of blue, but I think it would be a lighter blue if it did like that more. And then just for a bit more texture, because I am awful with eyes, we're going to do a bit of airbrushing about the place, just to make it look a bit more like an eye. Because texture is kind of everything. There we go. And that's okay. I am a bad artist, but that's okay. Let's just roll with it. Work around my art skills. And do some... Let's do that a little bit darker. There we go. That's a little bit better. And then not quite like that, like that. And I don't think... Yeah, I think actually his eyes are going to be looking up. Because like I said, we are kind of doing a halo thing around his head. So let's actually go ahead and super quickly do another airbrush down of black down this stripe. And then we're going to get rid of it. Wait, let's do slightly less opacity. And like that. No, even more less opacity. And then like that. There we go. And then we're going to erase the stripe since it's not really that realistic. Like, wolves don't just have stripes down their head. And let's see if we can as well just do another line there. There we go. And hang on, that was an airbrush. That's not going to get me very far. I'm thinking whether we could go lineless for this drawing. Like, if we hit the lines now, it would look pretty weird. But we could work around that. We could figure ourselves out, couldn't we? I mean, I don't really go lineless that much, since lines just make everything clear. But I think we could figure out lineless, I suspect. So if we just eye drop that quickly and then just go a bit darker. If we make things dark around on the ear here. Did you get that? That rhymed so well. On the ear here. Oh, that does rhyme really satisfyingly. Anyway, let's do that both there and over. Whoops, how did I manage to get onto that colour? I must have tapped it absent-mindedly. A bit darker actually over here on the ear. Over here in the ear. I keep on rhyming things. And then let's see if we can get a perfect lighty pinky thing to be inside his ear. Oh, no, not like that. Thank you very much. I appreciate your enthusiasm, Pink. But yeah, more like that. That's okay. And now what would it look like if we hid the lines? It would look like it is, at least. He still looks slightly weird. You know, we could just go with lines, but I don't know. There's something nice about no lines. But let's actually just go with lines, since this is not going to work. Though it was useful turning the lines off. It always is, because you get to see what is less clear. And what you've missed out. Like, I missed out actually colouring his nose. And I love Chocolate Brownie's nose, so I don't know how I did. But let's quickly do that. And there we go. That's not half bad. I mean, it kind of is more than half bad, is why it's not half bad. But let's... Ooh, dear, didn't need to do that. Let's quickly erase the outside. And then erase a bit of... Oh, that's a bit of a pain. Alright, that'll have to do for his nose. And then let's go over the white and do a strong yellow. I think we should do it in pen. Well, I think airbrush would probably be better, actually, wouldn't it? And if we did like that, like, because he's kind of looking up at it, isn't he? There we go. Okay. We need it not to, like, go over his eyes, but otherwise, that's fine. And it needs to go over his lines, like that. And that's kind of okay. Let's just try it once more. Over his lines, because that isn't too bad, but it isn't too good either. There, like that, and it kind of goes behind his ears. So let's actually just try that again, and just consistently go round, and then we can erase the bits that are on his ears, like so, and erase whatever's not meant to be there, since there's a lot that isn't actually meant to be there. Whoops, that wasn't meant to happen. And then if we erase this very, very cautiously... And there we go. See, that kind of goes in front and behind. That's okay. That's actually gone pretty well, I dare say. And we're gonna kind of change the background color as well, and I drop that in blue instead. Well, a little bit later, like that. There we go. And as well, I don't know how we managed to get that white bit. I'm not sure quite where it came from, but oh, it's the airbrush being annoying. All right, hang on. If that is, oh great, hang on, I can go over that. That's amazing. And then if we can carefully go around the lines over here, then I think we've got it. I think we might have actually done it, potentially. And we will actually do one more layer of golden, just because I think the blue does make it a little bit murky and a little bit almost green, which isn't the best. So let's go over that again with a bold airbrush and just go round like so, and there we are. That's great. So I think we're gonna end the video here. We've managed to do a okay-ish drawing. Somehow we managed to get rid of the pink, but I think that we are going to end the video here because we have managed to finish the drawing, which is like more than I thought we'd do with this taped up computer. So let's just do one airbrush tinge, because somehow just a little bit of airbrush tinge at the edge and around the area can actually do a lot. And I think that is the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I've certainly enjoyed drawing, and it wasn't the best drawing, but it went okay. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.